So today I have the side hustle that I want to share with you that I can almost guarantee not many people are talking about, but it is literally making people thousands a month.
It has made me a little over $13,000, and I've been doing this now for 2.5 months.
Within this month, I'll probably profit about $8,000.
Yo, this is all legit, and I'm gonna do something a little different today, and I'm gonna bring on a special guest that has made millions doing this. So don't go anywhere. You will not want to miss this one. What's up, guys? This is Monique and welcome back to the channel. I am back with the news that you can use, but first, if you are new here, hello, bonjour, hola, aloha, konnichiwa, wagwan, shalom, assalamu alaikum, jambo, namaste. So y'all know I don't like to waste your time because time is money. And today I have with me Felix. He is about to share a side hustle that not many people know about. And this is going to be something that you're going to want to hop on quick. All right, so thank you so much, Felix, for stopping by to come and share this amazing opportunity with us. So we just want you to tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of the side hustle that you are doing and how you got started.
Sure. So thank you so much, Monique, for bringing me on your channel and allowing me to share this opportunity and business that I've been doing over the last 6 or 7 years with your audience. More or less, my name is Felix Wisniewski. I'm based out of Central New Jersey, and I'm pretty much a serial entrepreneur. I have my hands in a lot of pots, but the main thing that allowed me to get started was the business of buying and reselling diabetic medical commodities, also known as diabetic test strips or testing supplies. And I kind of stumbled upon it with no intention of ever doing it. I was doing something called real estate wholesaling at the time, and I had a big deal ready to go to the closing table where I was set to make, $20,000, $30,000. And just before it was about to close, the deal fell through. The other guy in the deal was doing the business of buying and reselling diabetic testing supplies or diabetic testing strips or medical commodities, whatever you would like to call it. And, I tried to learn what he was doing. I tried to offer to work for him, pay for the information, but he really wasn't having it. And, after, kind of trial and error of 6 or 7 months, I finally figured out, what testing strips to buy, what not to buy, what to say, what to pay, what to do, what to look for. And lo and behold, this business went on to change my life. My first 6 figures I made by the age of 21, but that's how I kind of got into the business. And this is why I really decided to make content and share this information with others, is because this business was so influential and impactful in my life, but I also made a lot of mistakes. So if I was able to have information like I have now and I'm able to share with others in the beginning, I would have been able to save a lot of time and save a lot of money.
When you say like you are doing diabetic test strips, like what do you mean by that? Like medical commodities, what is that exactly for someone who has no idea about what you're talking about?
Sure. So basically 1 in 10 Americans have something called diabetes. I'm sure everybody knows somebody who has diabetes. And I'm not the most scientific guy in the world, but more or less everybody has to test their blood sugar. And most people get a surplus of these supplies. Now, most people are going to either have them get expired or they're just going to throw them out. But what we do is we have a pretty underground business, totally legit, but it's an underground business where we basically buy the extra or surplus diabetic supplies, and then we turn around and resell them back to big name wholesalers / pharmacies.
So basically it's selling diabetic strips, but like for myself, I may feel like I don't know a lot of diabetics, so I'm wondering, is this something that's required? Like, can you just pretty much tell us the overall process from beginning to end, like going find these people and getting paid?
So you don't need to know a single diabetic. If you don't know any diabetics, it doesn't matter, because we're not buying from, friends or family or things like that. We're buying from people in our local city or in our outer city areas or other states. So a lot of people think that you have to go like door knocking or you have to go to old people communities or any of that stuff. You don't have to do any of that. What we do is we just do simple marketing. I tell people to think like a gym. When a new gym opens up, they put out signs, flyers, business cards, t-shirts, stuff like that. So we do the same thing. We do signs, business cards, flyers, social media, things that say cash paid for diabetic supplies, diabetic testing strips. And not saying it'll happen overnight or right away, but people will call you. But if you look right here, they basically have guaranteed resale value. So you could see right here, this particular box sells for 67, this particular box sells for 31. So based on what our buyers pay for them, we already know how much we're going to pay. So for the box that sells for 31, if you had 10 boxes, I'd offer you $100 for those 10 boxes, as long as the boxes meet specific requirements as far as the condition, the expiration date. And then we turn around and either resell them on eBay if you don't have these connects that I have, or you can sell them to these type of big buyers. Some buyers require you to ship them the product and then they'll pay you the next day. Or some buyers, once you build a relationship, you ship it to them and they'll prepay you. You know, once you actually have the product, because these are like commodities and these buyers want these products so bad to be able to recycle them, you pretty much have, you know, cash on hand, but just in box form. So, and then you could get paid wire transfer, Cash App, PayPal, Zelle. You know, most of these buyers, most of these people that are paying you for these supplies will pay whatever sort of payment method you prefer. But with all that being said, there are still things and certain pieces of the puzzle that need to be filled in. And if you want to learn how to fill in the blanks and know what to do, what to say, what to pay, what to buy, what to look for, what not to do, everything that you need to know how to do to get this business up and off the ground in the first 30, 60, 90 days that took me over 6 to 7 months to learn through simply trial and error, that is for the people who, what I would recommend going down in the description, for people to really learn how this business is pieced together. Even though it's a simple concept business, there are certain pieces that might trick you or hold you up. And once you're able to learn and understand everything A to Z, you'll be able to really understand how large of a scale this business could be.
So is this something that you can do at home? I know you said like putting signs out, but let's say I'm a person who just don't really want to go out into the world and do stuff. Could I do this from home?
Yeah, so you could do, you know, marketing online, for example, Craigslist, maybe Facebook, maybe different forms of social media, different buy and resell marketplace apps like OfferUp or different things like that. You know, some of my biggest clients that I've gotten, because I still do this business to this day. Yes, I have a team that I've kind of automated different parts of it, so I don't have to be going out there and meeting clients to get their testing supplies. And there's a way to go around that as well. You can have people ship you the products. I do that as well. So yeah, there's ways to do it where you don't want to leave the house at all. Obviously, if you go out into the field with any business, and certain businesses, I think you kind of expand your reach of opportunity. But there are ways to do it solely in the house, having people ship you the product and then doing marketing that doesn't require like business cards in stores or, you know, kind of like guerrilla marketing. You could do online marketing.
So a question that I know a lot of people probably have is how much you have made from selling diabetic strips. Like overall, what would you say you've made?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously in the beginning when I first started, it was a little slower. And obviously months go up and down, but probably since the year of 2016, I've made around $3 million. Now that's revenue, that's not all profit. It's about, you know, when you're actually doing this business, the profit margins, you're typically doubling to tripling your money. That's about half profit, so about 1.5 million in profit. That's how much I've been able to make since I started doing this business and really got it off the ground. And typically, you know, per month, I typically do around, you know, 15 to 20 or more in profit. And obviously, you know, I'm doing more in revenue, but, you know, the revenue isn't as important as the profit. So that's how much I've been able to make. But the reason this business can become very lucrative over time is because the people that we're buying these diabetic supplies from, they get them on a residual basis. So it's kind of why I like this business so much, because the person I bought from this month, there's a good chance, you know, 80% chance that next month or the month after, they're going to have more diabetic supplies. And then, you know, I've been literally buying from some of my clients since 2016, 2017, 2018. So it's not where we're just buying, you know, maybe 10 boxes of diabetic test strips from them one time. We're buying from them this month, next month, the following month. So when you build a whole list of clients every single month, you know, over time, you know, it gets pretty lucrative. And to be able to make, you know, not initially, but to be able to have a list of people where you can make 10,000 or 15,000 a month in profit with these diabetic contacts who have these diabetic supplies is totally possible.
So technically, the way that you're explaining this, it seems like at some point this can become like passive income, because like you said, you have these these diabetics that are continuing to get supplies every month. So once you establish that clientele, like that relationship with them, then you can basically not even go and search for any more clients. Like, let's say I found 20 people to buy these diabetic strips from. If I don't feel like going and find anybody else and they continue to sell to me, I don't really have to put in too much of the work. It can kind of become passive, do you think?
100%. If you find 20 people that sell you test strips, whether it's bi-weekly or bi-monthly or monthly, you could kind of sit back and just eat off those clients and make money month over month. Now, obviously, the more clients you add to your list, the more money you're going to make over time. But if you want to get, 10, 15, 20 clients, you can make, a couple $1,000s a month just off, 20, 25, 30 clients, depending on how much product they're selling to you month in and month out. But that's 100% true. You can make passive income because these clients are, repeat or residual in a way.
So Felix, how long would you say it would take for someone to actually start making money? Because I saw a lot of the testimonials out there about this and people are making thousands a month. So can you make thousands a month, like right away?
Yeah, so you could definitely make some really good money with this. The first thing I'll say is it's not a gumball machine. You can't just put a quarter in and expect guaranteed 3 gumballs to pop out. I typically say month 1 or by day 30, somewhere between, 500 to maybe 1,500. Then by month 2 or by day 60, somewhere between 1,500 and 2,500. And then month 3 or by day 90, somewhere between 2,500 and 3,500. Now, I've seen people make less. I've seen people make more. Their first month, they skyrocketed past those numbers. And then, as far as how long it takes you to get to the next level, maybe, $5,000, $10,000 per month. As far as in profit, you're probably looking somewhere around maybe 8 to 12 months. And I say those numbers just to be real and be honest. I think some people on the internet, not bashing them, but will say month 1, you'll get a Lambo, month 2, you'll get a mansion, month 3, you'll get a private jet. And we just know as entrepreneurs that really do this, that's just not realistic. So I'd rather give you realistic numbers. Yes, you can grow it to, very high levels. I've had people that I've shown how to do this business who've actually went past me and got to levels that I'm not even at yet because I'm still growing and scaling it. But, some people just take off faster than others. But I would say if you're consistent with your marketing and your advertising, that's the foundation of any business, and you will be successful. I also believe having a business plan or plan of attack is just as important. Now, I'm not saying you 1000% need my advice, my training, or my mentorship, but if you follow just 1% of some of the things I say on my channel and in my videos, especially in the link down in the description below, you will learn how to do this business the correct way. If I would have had somebody to show me and take me along the way and hold my hand in the beginning, I would have been able to put myself in a better position way faster with way less money wasted and way less time wasted.
So I'm sure that some people out there may have some concerns about going and buying these diabetic test strips and selling them. Is this legal?
Yeah, so that's a great question as well. Yes, it's 100% legal to sell your diabetic test strips. Some people might say you can't sell certain types that are Medicare or Medicaid test strips, but in the years that I've been doing this, I've probably only seen those test strips more than maybe 5-6 times. So they're very rare. And, as long as the boxes don't say made by Medicare and it'll be like indented into the box, you can basically buy and resell these all day long. And then another thing, I wouldn't put something on the internet. I have hundreds of videos about this business because it's been so impactful in my life. If you Google cash for diabetic test strips, you can see massive businesses, companies that are making 6 and 7 and 8 figures from this. So it's a huge industry, but it's a huge industry that's kind of, on the low key end. Not too many people even know about it. And because of that, and especially because it's kind of in the medical industry, people question, is it legit? Is it legal? Is it fair game and fair use to do? So great question, but yes, it's 100% legal and legit and fair game to do.
If I wanted to start like tomorrow, like how much money do you think I would need to have on me to get started?
I mean, you can really get started with this business. I think this is one of the best businesses you can get started with, like a bootstrap budget. I typically tell people to get started with somewhere between 500 and 1,000, but that doesn't mean you can't get started with less. I know somebody He actually started with 20 bucks. He bought one box, took that box, and he resold it for 70, took that, 70 bucks, bought 3 more boxes, flipped that for like 200, and then just kept flipping. So, I mean, you can start with, 50, 100 bucks, but if you really want to be able to get your name out there, I would say somewhere between 500 and 1,000.
So I know one thing a lot of people come to me and tell me about when I'm bringing different type of side hustle ideas is that they're worried about it being oversaturated. Like there's too many competitors out there. They feel like they can't break into this. So do you feel like this particular side hustle is oversaturated?
So I think saturation is a great question because it shows that somebody is doing their due diligence about a business. But what I tell people is that no matter pretty much any business you start, there's going to be other people doing it. But it's not about what they're doing, it's about what you're doing, and it's about getting your piece of the pie. I could tell you in my local area of New Jersey, or just New Jersey in a whole, there's probably about 10 to 15 to maybe 20 people, and maybe even a few other resellers that do the same business as myself, and it doesn't infiltrate my business by any means. Also, I would say it's important to be in a community of like-minded people. So that's why I have a community group where I have everybody in there talking this business. I like seeing other people in a business that I'm doing because it's like a proven concept. I know, hey, there's 10 other people doing it. They're probably making money, and I know if I persist and stay consistent, then I can make money as well. So make sure you're surrounding yourself with people doing this who are doing what you want to do, and you're in a like-minded community of winners. But also don't give up if it doesn't work day 1, day 10, day 20. I have seen people in my training go out and make $5,000 their first month in profit. That's not typical, but it can happen. But if you stay consistent and you don't give up right away, no matter how many people are doing what you're doing, you will make money.
That's really good. There's something important you said, especially about being consistent, because a lot of people will try something, even with this idea. If they go out and they try to do it and it's not making them as much as they want to this first month, then they're ready to give up, when all they have to do is keep going a little while longer, and then they start to make that amount of money that they're looking to make. But another thing that I think is important for a lot of people to know is, does this require any type of skill? Like, do you need any kind of degree? Because we're talking about medical supplies. So is there any kind of degrees you need, any kind of certifications, any skills, anything like that to do it?
Yeah, so you don't need any of that. In fact, even though it sounds pretty fancy and maybe on the technical side, you can actually go into CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, and buy these exact diabetic supplies that we're buying right over the counter. Now, the reason that's not a good and effective strategy is because they're already at retail value. What we're doing is we're getting them from people who have extras, and then we're turning around and reselling them to the pharmacies or the big name wholesalers, and then they're turning around and reselling it through retail avenues. But yeah, this doesn't require any licenses, formations or legalities or any paperwork. So you definitely need a phone. You don't need a computer. You don't need any certain type of phone. You just need at least some sort of smartphone. But besides that, you don't need anything. You don't need a laptop. You don't need any certifications or licenses, just a smartphone and definitely some hustle. If you got some hustle and a smartphone, this is a perfect side hustle for you, in my opinion.
So Felix, someone like myself would literally need you to take them by the hand and walk them through this thing. Do you do anything like that?
Yeah, so I do actually show people how to do this business. But the first thing I think that is most important is to do your due diligence and watch some of the videos that I could provide you with a link that has a video where it explains all about how this business works in depth, so you can know what's going to be involved and what's going to be in the process of you doing it for yourself.
No, but Felix, I thank you so much for coming over and sharing this opportunity with us. This has been such a pleasure. I'm going to click on the link myself because I want to learn more about this, but I just really want to thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Thank you for having me on your channel.
So y'all, make sure you go down in the description and click on that link so that you can learn more about this amazing opportunity from Felix himself. Other than that, I thank you so very much for watching. If you have not liked this video, go ahead and hit that like button for me. And until next time, we are out. Peace.